Hey VC, this is Harvey and welcome to the latest video update for my channel Spinning the Black Circle. It has been a while, a month since my last update. There was a small matter of record store day between my last update and this one, so that's partly responsible for the delay. What was the story of my record store day then? So I'd been planning and excited about for months going to Eclipse Records, which is about 4 miles down the road here in the West Midlands in Walsall, and was planning to go there with 2 friends, Cal and James. So we originally said, I'll tell you what guys, let's get there at 1 AM to make sure that we get everything that's on our list. That's the time to arrive. And then we pushed that back to 2 AM because we thought 1 was a bit extreme. And then we got nervous about 2 AM because it's in the middle of Walsall, and you know that's when the pubs and clubs start to end for the day. So we thought, let's push it back to 3 AM. And then eventually, as the day got closer, we settled on 4 AM as the time to arrive. So that's what we did. We met at 4 AM, turning the corner with some trepidation, you know, wondering if the queue's going to be down the road. But there were only 6 people ahead of us in the queue, and we obviously shared anecdotes and lists with those guys. Unfortunately for me, nothing on their list was actually on mine. So I was 7th in the queue, and managed to get everything that was on my list. It was freezing cold, pitch black, you know, 4 hours of standing, quite tough the first couple of hours, but the camaraderie was great. And the suggestion that there's a lot of people in these RSD queues who are just looking to make a quick buck on eBay, it's certainly something I've never experienced in any of my chats with people. You know, prior to Record Store Day. They all seem to be genuine music fans who are there and genuinely excited about what they're looking for. There was a lady in the queue who was only there for Madness's One Step Beyond on picture disc, and to see her at the front and getting that purchase and the beaming smile on her face, you know, that's what it's all about for me. So anyway, what did I buy? Why? And what do I think of it? So the first thing on the list is the only thing I bought that wasn't purely for musical reasons. So it's a 10-inch of She's a Rainbow by the Rolling Stones on yellow vinyl. It's a precursor to the career retrospective compilation that they've just released, which is called Honk. I bought this just because it's a nice to have. It's a beautiful product on yellow vinyl. It looks great. Yes, I'm a huge Rolling Stones fan. You know, I wear t-shirts. I've even got my Rolling Stones mug of tea, XL on Main Street mug of tea here. But you know, it's just a live version of a Stones track. I've played it. It sounds okay, but it's just a nice to have. I'll never sell it. Excuse me, but I'll always have it. So that was the only thing that I bought that wasn't to get some new music of some description. Okay, what's next then? So I don't have many 7-inches in my collection. It's very LP based, and something I want to remedy. But there were 2 things on the RSD list that I really wanted. The first was My Sanity 7-inch by Bad Religion, an act that I've tinkered with over the years and really like, but I really need to get a lot more of their stuff. This is apparently the first single off their forthcoming LP. It's a really good track, so I think that's going to be the jump off point for me to really start getting into Bad Religion. So happy to have got that. Next is something that an artist I'm really familiar with. This is by Julian Baker, a US indie folk singer-songwriter. You may have seen one of my earlier updates where I wax lyrical about her band Boy Genius. She's 1/3 of the band Boy Genius, which I think was one of the best mini LPs, one of the best LPs released last year. But she's also a solo artist in her own right. And this is the track Red Door, which is an RSD exclusive studio track with a B-side of Conversation Piece. So, you know, you can't get this anywhere else. It's a fabulous song. Really happy to have got hold of it. So that was my second RSD purchase. What is next? So, again, an act that I have raved about via one of my earlier updates is Adels. So they're a British kind of socially conscious punk band. They're pretty brutal stuff nonetheless. This is their Meat EP. It's the first time this has been released on vinyl. It sounds fantastic on record, so I had to have that, and that is, you know, that's a great a great companion piece to Joy is an Act of Resistance, the LP that I raved about in the earlier update. So Adels, the Meat EP was on my list, and really pleased to have got that. Next is the only artist on the list that I'd never heard, and I was taking a bit of a punt on. So this is by 6x7, and the album is called The Things We Make, and it's kind of renowned as a lost indie classic from the late 90s, released in 1998. But I'm really pleased to have got it. It reminds me of early Verve LPs, kind of long, drawn out, languid indie rock, very British sounding. They've got a sax player too. So if you like indie rock, this is a great LP. I suspect it's available on other formats. Probably be able to stream it or get it, but in terms of an RSD release, I think it says limited to 500 copies. It's really well mastered. It sounds amazing. So my hunch that, based on reviews and what I'd heard, that this 6x7 LP would be something worth having, paid off, because I'm really glad that I took a punt on that LP. So if you can find somewhere The Things We Make, either in remaining RSD stock or by other means, and you like early late 90s, early Verve, or a little bit like, I guess, Screaming Delegate by Primal Scream in some respects, but this LP is really good. So happy that I managed to get hold of that on RSD. Next, a more established act that I'm familiar with already. This is by Suede. So I guess a similar vein. You know, it's British indie rock, and this is Head Music. So this is a triple vinyl RSD release, the most expensive thing I bought on Record Store Day this year. The music's great, but it's absolutely beautiful. I'll just show you the 3 vinyl, which is the original LP over 2 albums, and also a B-sides LP. So it's just really well put together. You've got a white vinyl with alternating picture sleeve, and then the next vinyl is green. Sorry about this. It's green vinyl, again with alternating labels, and then I think the final LP is purple. Clearly matches the whole aesthetic of the cover. And this is the B-sides album, again with alternating colours on the label, but more importantly, great music. Again, this suggestion that the coloured vinyl doesn't sound as good as black vinyl, despite the name of my channel. I'm not sure that I've experienced that, and I'm pretty particular about how music sounds. But to me, these coloured vinyls can often sound just as good as regular black vinyl. The next is one of the ones that I was most excited about. Something I've been streaming for a while before Record Store Day. It's first time on vinyl for Beth Hart, live from New York, front and centre. It's a double live LP. If you're not familiar with Beth Hart, she's kind of a powerhouse US blues singer, musician too, which plays piano and guitar too. So this is the double vinyl, first time on vinyl for Record Store Day on red vinyl. Really nice gatefold sleeve package, and as I suspected, it sounds great when you stream it, but it sounds absolutely sensational on vinyl. So if you can get a hold of this on vinyl, and if there's any RSD stock left and you like blues rock, or you already like Beth Hart, I'd really recommend this because it sounds absolutely amazing on vinyl. Great track selection too, so highly recommend that. Next was, again towards the top of my list now, is I'll pronounce this guy's name wrong, but it's Olafur Arnald's Remember LP. So again, I've been streaming this for months and meant to get it on vinyl. So when I saw that it was on the Record Store Day list with a bonus 7-inch of string quartet versions of some of the songs, I thought I've got to have that, also with an exclusive cover. It's a beautiful LP. It's classical crossover. If you like Sigur Rós or Max Richter, or even, I guess, Röyksopp, it's kind of that stuff. Ethereal, classical crossover, but highly melodic. It's not the sort of stuff that can't hook you. There's lots of there's lots of catchy tunes that will stick in your head. It's a bit of a grower, but it's just an amazing LP. And again, the the 7-inch of string quartet that comes with it, with the 4-piece, just sounds absolutely amazing. It suits the tracks that he picked from that. I would love it if he did a whole LP of string quartets on this actually, but the three selections on the 7-inch sound sensational. And again, that's superbly mastered for Record Store Day. The worry with an LP as quiet as this is that the surface noise overwhelms the music, but not the case. It's really well done. Sounds amazing on my system. So again, Olaf Arnold, remember, styled as thus. By whatever means you get it. If you like Shigeros, if you like classical crossover to electronic music, that is a great LP to have. So really pleased with that one to have got hold of it. Final 2 selections. So next, I've said before, I'm a huge Prince fan. So, there were 2 notable Prince releases on Record Store Day. This is the first of them. And the one that I selected, which is His Majesty's Pop Life, which is a double 12-inch. It's a famous, rare Japanese release from the 80s that will cost hundreds of pounds prior to this Record Store Day release. I've heard some criticisms of this, that they didn't use the original master tapes, or that they selected from different sources than the original, but it sounds sensational. You've got the long version of Erotic City on here. You've got that fantastic long video mix of Raspberry Beret on here, a remix of Paisley Park and Let's Go Crazy, Little Red Corvette, America, and of course Pop Life. The first record here plays at 45 RPM, the second at 33 RPM. It's a really nice package with a live shot in the middle, presumably with Prince and the Revolution. So despite the criticism, I don't care when the music's this good as to whether or not it's sourced from the original tape. It sounds amazing. I'm never going to let it go, and so I'm pleased to have added that to my Record Store Day list. The other release from Prince, which I did not purchase, was a cassette named The Versace Experience, which again is something that was released, I think, in the 90s in that case, that is really sought after. But I don't own a cassette deck anymore, and I buy music because I want to listen to the music. I wasn't going to buy a cassette deck just for that release. So it would have been nice to have, but I just don't operate like that. I buy things that I'm going to listen to, so that's why I didn't buy The Versace Experience. I'm sure that'll be hugely popular on eBay and worth a lot of money in time, but who cares? I'm here for the music. So the final RSD purchase I made is the one I was most excited about, and that I think I'm going to listen to most of all. Now, if you think about it, how many artists on Record Store Day bring out an entire LP of new songs and only release them on Record Store Day? And there probably have been some in the past, but the one that caught my eye, and the first one I've heard of, is by Jeff Tweedy, and he's brought out an LP named Warmer for Record Store Day. Now, he had an LP, his first solo album actually, released during 2018, which is called Warm, and Warmer was recorded during the same sessions as Warm. But these aren't just leftover tunes. I've read interviews with him. He always meant to release this Warmer LP as a second LP. And I think it's fantastic that he's taking that through and released these 10 songs on Record Store Day, because it's a fantastic LP. It doesn't sound like 10 songs that are left over from anything. It holds up to, got a similar feel to the Warm LP, but it holds up as an album in its own right. So that's something I've been listening to constantly since I got it last weekend, and I just think more artists should do that. I mean, I'm sure you'll bring it out in other formats later, but why not do that? Why not when you're if you're recording an LP and you want to do something for your fans, given that albums don't sell by the truckload these days, or seldom do, why not do something different, like release it on Record Store Day, and then maybe you can bring it out later in other formats like streaming. But as stands, Warmer by Jeff Tweedy is only available as an RSD album. It's probably sold out in most places. There's only 500 of these in the UK, which is why it was worth queuing from 4 AM to get hold of it. But super happy to have got that, and for me that made Record Store Day, and it's a fabulous release. So that is it. I thought that was probably my favourite Record Store Day so far. I planned it in advance, really thought through the list, got there early. I'll repeat that next year, assuming there are things that I want on the list. I'm looking forward now to doing a bit of catching up and looking at your RSD updates, VC, and checking out your purchases. But meantime, I will see you soon, and thank you very much.